Imagine being locked in a silent, pitch-black room. No windows, no warmth. Just cold concrete and a steel door that never opens. For 2,896 days, this was Natascha Kampusch's world. When she finally escaped, the man who stole her childhood threw himself in front of a train. Vienna, Austria, March 2nd, 1998. A brisk morning, a 10-year-old girl named Natascha Kampusch walked to school alone for the first time. Blonde, bright-eyed, full of dreams. But she never made it to class. What seemed like an ordinary school day turned into one of Austria's most infamous abduction cases. Her parents were frantic. A city-wide search began. But she had vanished, as if into thin air. She hadn't vanished. She had been snatched by Wolfgang Přiklopil, a 35-year-old communications technician. A man with no criminal record, just a secret no one could imagine. Beneath his suburban home was a hidden bunker, a 54-square-foot soundproof dungeon sealed behind a wardrobe and steel door. He had spent years building it. And Natascha? She was his final, horrific puzzle piece. While the world moved on, inside that bunker time stood still. Přiklopil controlled everything. When she ate, when she bathed, even when she breathed too loudly. He beat her for defiance, starved her to weaken resistance, forced her to clean his home in silence. The psychological torture was relentless. To the outside world, Přiklopil was just a quiet man living alone. But he was hiding a child in his basement for 8 long years. Leads went cold. The police had no suspect. Tips flooded in, hundreds of them. But Přiklopil's caution worked. He had no social life, no visitors, no trace. No one ever suspected the neat little house with white shutters and trimmed hedges was concealing a living nightmare. Wolfgang Přiklopil wasn't impulsive. He was calculated, obsessed. He wanted a human pet, someone he could train to obey, to depend on him completely. He didn't just want control. He craved godlike power over another soul. He told Natascha, "You are mine now, forever." But what he didn't know was that her mind was stronger than his dungeon. Natascha, now 18, was allowed out of the cellar to vacuum Přiklopil's car. He stepped away to take a phone call, and for the first time he made a mistake. She dropped the vacuum, ran, heart pounding. She found a neighbor. "I was kidnapped," she whispered. "I've escaped." Police arrived. Her identity was confirmed. Later that same day, Wolfgang Přiklopil jumped in front of a train. He would never face justice. Natascha was free, but her story was far from over. The public struggled to understand how she survived. Some accused her of Stockholm Syndrome, claims she firmly rejected. She hadn't bonded with her captor. She had outlasted him. She wrote a book, 3,096 Days, later turned into a film. She became a speaker, a voice for the voiceless, and a symbol of survival. Despite the trauma, Natascha never let it define her. Her life, stolen at 10, was rebuilt from the ruins. This wasn't just a kidnapping. It was a test of human spirit versus absolute control, of a child's willpower versus a man's monstrous obsession. And in the end, she won. Natascha Kampusch didn't just survive. She returned stronger, a reminder that even in darkness, hope fights quietly, but fiercely. Sometimes the greatest evil isn't a stranger in the dark. It's the quiet man living next door, building a prison beneath your feet. And sometimes the greatest courage is the ability to wait and run when the door finally opens. If the story moved you, hit that like button and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Would you have had the strength Natascha did? Subscribe for more stories that dig deeper than headlines, into the hearts of survivors, the minds of monsters, and the dark corners of real life.